Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter by sharing my experience with Mint Mobile. Correction, sharing my experience with Mint Mobile outside of the United States. Mint Mobile is a cellular service provider in the United States, and I've reviewed their talk, text, and data plans, as well as a mysterious data leak that I've been experiencing. That situation is ongoing. Anyway, I'll link to both of those videos down in the description below. But today, I want to talk about what their service is like when you're outside of the United States. Mint Mobile is probably best known for its owner, Ryan Reynolds, and the fact that it operates as a mobile virtual network operator. Mint Mobile doesn't have any stores or physical shops and operates virtually, which in theory lets them pass on some savings to you. And that is mostly true. Mint Mobile's plans are usually less expensive than some of the other major carriers, and they also have to compete with other MVNOs, which helps keep their prices down. But one feature they have that some of their other MVNO competitors don't is international roaming. I had the chance to test out that feature over the past few months across multiple continents in several countries, and here's what I found. Now, Mint Mobile has standard talk, text, and data plans in the US, but through the Mint Mobile app, which is where you manage your account, you can add $5, $10, or $20 worth of international roaming credit, which Mint calls UpRoam for some reason. Adding UpRoam is really easy to do, and one underrated thing about using Mint Mobile is just how smooth the digital experience is. And that's essentially it, at least as far as adding the UpRoam credit goes. You add $5, $10, or $20 to your international roaming, and Mint Mobile supports it across 140 countries, with the rates varying based on where you are in the world. For example, if you take a trip to Mexico, the call rate is 6 cents per minute, 2 cents per SMS, and 6 cents for every megabyte of data you use. Heading to Kyrgyzstan, it's 25 cents a minute to talk, 5 cents per text message, and 20 cents per megabyte. It would be nice if Mint would simply list out all the countries UpRoam is supported in and their rates, but as of right now, you've got to search individually to see what the charges are. Another useful feature would be to have this information in the Mint mobile app itself so you know what the current rates are based on your location, so you could then wisely use your international roaming credit. You can, though, text roam to 6700 to get an update on the amount of balance you have left, but that information is also available in the Mint mobile app. Your international roaming credits never expire, so it's not use it or lose it. If you don't use the credits, they basically just roll over month to month to month, and using the UpRoam service is actually useful if you use it wisely. Depending on where you are in the world, data using UpRoam can be expensive. To give you some context, watching a YouTube video like this one at 720p will use up about 1.2 to 2.7 gigabytes per hour. That means watching a 10-minute video at decent 720p resolution can easily eat up almost half a gigabyte of data. Or to put that same 10-minute video into megabytes, it would be about 500. So you would end up burning about $30 of UpRoam if you were in Mexico, for example. Over in Kazakhstan, that same 10-minute video would be about $100 worth of UpRoam credits. So although Mint even lets you tether the connection, meaning you can share your mobile data as a wireless hotspot to your other devices like a tablet or a laptop, you probably wouldn't want to do that because of how fast you would go through data and money. That doesn't mean Mint Mobile's UpRoam international roaming is completely useless. It's just best used for spot checking. Basically, with the international roaming activated, you can still receive text messages, which is useful if you have people who text your mobile number directly or for multi-factor authentication codes you may be sent. For all other times, you would just rely on a local eSIM or other local SIM card, which is almost certainly going to be more cost effective and in many places give you the option to get a local number as well. There's also another good use for UpRoam when you're traveling, and that's for spots where your local service provider, say you get a local SIM card in Bishkek, that service might not work the best everywhere. In that case, sometimes the UpRoam local provider, whoever Mint happens to contract with in that country, sometimes it's better in a given area, and in a pinch when you need to download an app or call a rideshare, it can come in handy. So basically, in your phone settings, you just turn on the Mint mobile line when you need it, get your text message, or maybe use that little bit of internet when you're in a pinch, and then just turn it off and then rely on your local service provider. And while we're talking about the service, the Mint Mobile international roaming in the countries that I used it across the world was actually really good. The calls were clear, the internet was fast, and the coverage was really good even in remote locations. But because of the cost, it's not a service you can rely on. Even if you wanted to spend hundreds of dollars a month on mobile roaming, having to top up your account in 5, 10, or $20 increments isn't very convenient, and you aren't notified when you're running low, so you might actually run out of data and then not be able to add it when you're on the go. That could put you in a position where you run out of roaming credits and then aren't connected to Wi Fi or don't have a wireless network around. Then you have no mobile internet and can't connect to the Mint Mobile app to add more roaming credits. And for those of you who've been following my story with Mint Mobile, during my travels, the data issues that I was experiencing continued, meaning if I left international roaming on for longer periods, I'd burn through all of my data without even realizing it. Still, having international roaming as an option was a service that I found very useful on my travels. Even if it is expensive, even if it is a pain to go into the settings and turn that line on and off, just knowing that I could receive text messages at one number, knowing that when I was traveling, I'd have call and data as well, even if, my local provider wasn't working or when I was at an airport. In all those cases where you would really, really need data, it's just nice to use it and have international roaming as a backup. It might be as simple as calling a rideshare to the airport in a country you're not familiar with, or being able to send a text message to your loved ones when you're traveling in a remote countryside for a few days. Mint Mobile's international roaming plan should be used like most roaming plans, sparingly and when needed. For all other times for your call, talk, data, all those things, you'll want to use a local SIM card or just load up an eSIM. If you have any questions on how to set that up, I've made videos down in the description I'll link to, which you can check out, which will help you set up your local SIM card when you're traveling. But hopefully this video gives you an idea of what international roaming is like when you use Mint Mobile, and it hopefully answers some of the questions you might have had, but also lets you know about a service you might not have even known existed. Of course, if you have any questions about this or anything you've seen in the video, let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll have new videos for you every week, and I will see you in the next video.